big achievement, and it was actually game changer, and it gave me a lot of hopes and lot of motivation to do more inside cybersecurity. As you will see in my LinkedIn, I have pushed NASA, then got LG, then got WH.
Welcome back to Entrance and Beyond. And today we have a totally new topic that we're going to talk about. We're going to dive into cybersecurity. There was a huge demand from the audience, and it's also something that I also wanted to explore. It's really a topic that a lot of people have interest into because most people are stuck in the DSA or the normal IT sort of jobs. But cybersecurity is something that is really evolving over the last couple of years. And that is why I've called Madhav Shah. He's from SPIT, that is Sardar Patel in Andheri, Mumbai, and he is basically a second year student right now over there. And we're just gonna dive into cybersecurity and learn about his journey. If I just talk about his achievements, he has been recognized in the NASA's Hall of Fame. Apart from that, he's also been recognized by WHO and LG, where he has basically been able to notify them about some vulnerabilities that they have. So we'll get to know a bit about more about that as we go into the podcast. So thank you, Madhav, for sparing some time and coming for my podcast. It would be nice if you could introduce yourself so that the audience knows a bit more about you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So, as he said, I'm in second year. You think I might be very small person, but no, I've did a lot of things. So, introducing myself, I'm Madhav Shah, and I'm very keen into ethical hacking, red teaming, and stuff. And I do hacking. That's it. And I have been recognized by NASA, LG, WHO, and many more stuff. I have been into many hackathons, won many CTFs, and yeah, that's about mine.
Okay. So let's go into the background of things, Madhav. Like when did you get into this cybersecurity and all of that? And as a student, how are you? Because a lot of people are interested in that. Initially, were you like a backbencher or were you always like the smart kid? And then how did you exactly enter into cybersecurity and start learning about it?
Okay, so my journey was very there were many ups and downs with my journey. Back in my school days, I was a very below average guy. Used to fail in my exams, and back in when I was in tenth, the COVID hit, and my tenth was whole online, and I haven't gave any boards. So COVID hit at that time. So I starting at that period of time during COVID because we got a lot of free time. I had my laptop with me and just started on YouTube how to hack and stuff. Then yeah, uh, coming back from last 4 years, it's been a total interesting journey for me. I've did a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So I wanted to jump to this NASA thing. Like, was the NASA thing, NASA Hall of Fame thing, was that your first big achievement, or were there any other such sort of achievements that you had initially in this journey as you like actually dove into cybersecurity?
Actually, NASA was my first big achievement, and it was actually game changer, and it gave me a lot of hopes and lot of motivation to do more inside cybersecurity. As you will see in my LinkedIn, I have pushed NASA, then got LG, then got WHO. So continuing my journey, it is a part of journey, and NASA was one of the big thing that I have achieved till now.
Okay. So I wanted to talk about cybersecurity as a domain because there's a lot of skepticism about it. When we say hacking or ethical hacking, people have their other Bollywood image. There's this guy with a hood on. There's a dark
Correct.
room, and like he's coding something and then like usne hack kar diya sab. And then like that is what people generally have. But I want to understand, like when you say you're an ethical hacker, what exactly do you do? And if it would be nice if you could talk about the capture the flag events and other sort of cybersecurity events that are out there and what exactly they are.
Okay, so actually, hacking is not about that black thing and that all hoodie stuff you actually see. Hacking is the major thing that are there are two types of hacker. There are variety of hacker, but majority there are two types of hacker: black hat and white hat. White hat are the hackers who does good stuff. For example, they will help company to secure them. And there are black hat hackers who will try to attack the company and try to make losses of the company. So yeah, that's it. And there is a lot of skepticism of hacking is very bad, but actually it is not. So what it does, the company hire hackers to test their own environment or their own security. So for that, they hire the hackers to test them so that bad hackers don't hack them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That was nice to hear. And like, what is the capture the flag event? Because I've seen a lot of the capture the flag events, and a lot of people aren't really sure about that.
CTF, the CTF is very advanced compared to other kind of hackathon. Hackathon is very different, but hackathons are comparatively easy. So in CTF, what they will do, you are provided a certain timing threshold value, and you will be provided set of the machine. You have to hack them. It depends on the type of the CTF you are playing. There are Koth, King of the Hills, the type of CTF, and there are certain type of, for example, Japati type CTF.
Mm.
So it's kind of like in a very naive way, if I can say that you are given some machines and you are given a particular amount of time and you have to hack that machine in a particular amount of time. The one who hacks the machine first wins the game.
Okay. Okay.
Ah,
So, when you were learning about like cybersecurity, what was the roadmap you followed, or what is like a path that you think folks should follow? Like, how should we actually jump into cybersecurity and actually learn the basic concepts, and then maybe win such competitions like capture the flag competition or other such things?
okay, so actually, I haven't had any path back 4 years ago because I was just 15. So just searching on YouTube, and actually YouTube is a very good resource to learn hacking. Not very good, but it is one of the best resources for learning hacking. So just had to search on YouTube, and there were plenty of playlist and YouTube videos available to learn hacking. So I just started my journey from that. I guess the channel name was WS Cube Tech, from where I had started my hacking journey. Through that video, I gained a lot of insight and what will be my next step in the ethical hacking. And if you guys are looking for some resource, so WS Cube Tech is of course a very good for learning from YouTube. And secondly, if you want to learn from reading stuff or do want to do stuff hands-on, so there is a platform called as the Try Hack Me. So what will they do? They will provide you certain kind of, they will teach you kind of walk through, and they will tell you to hack certain kind of machine. So it is a very good way to learn. And for if you want to learn CTF, so basically CTF are actually combination of all of the things which are actually in cybersecurity. For example, there is networking, there is Linux, there is cryptography, there is steganography. There are a lot of stuff. So CTF basically are aggregative of all that stuff, and you have to learn that thing. So to get started, you can start from Pico CTF, which is like a beginner level CTF to learn to get into the CTF competitions.
Okay. So what are some of, like you mentioned some of the basic topics, right? So if you could go through that again, like what are the basics of cybersecurity? Like you should first, is it like you should first work on these basics and then sort of like you mentioned, use the different platforms out there? And if there is, like, what are the five to main topics that one must know about cybersecurity before actually doing a hands-on sort of experience in cybersecurity?
Okay, so cybersecurity is actually very vast. There is a lot of stuff you have to do, but there are many things you have to learn prior before you get into the ethical hacking. For example, there is a requirement of Linux. You have to have a hands-on experience on Linux as well as operating system that you are using. Then comes the networking. Then comes the basics of cryptography. Then you have to learn, like, for example, there are many tools available for cybersecurity. You don't have to learn, but you have to just have a knowledge about it. And fifth is the major important, because as the cybersecurity is a very growing space, you have to keep learning about the new technology that are coming in space. So you have to also be aware of the news as what other stuff are going on. So there are plenty of YouTube channels for to do that stuff, because they generally post the upcoming cybersecurity trends early.
Okay. I would now want to
Yeah.
talk about the mindset a bit. Is there like some particular mindset you must have as someone who's doing ethical hacking to like arrive to the solution? Like we say, like suppose we have lead code or something. There's a particular format that you have to follow, right? Like think about the solution and then maybe draw things out and do something like that. So in cybersecurity, is there some sort of trick or what sort of mindset do you have to have when you're trying to hack into something or do ethical hacking? Is there some sort of tip you have regarding the mental aspect of things?
Okay, so there are certain phases of certain methodology of ethical hacking through which the hacker goes when he's testing something or is working on something. For example, first is the reconnaissance phase, where a hacker gathers the information from all around. Then comes the scanning phase, analyzing the reconnaissance information and analyzing it properly. Then comes the penetration phase, like he will try to get into the system once he get all the information from it. So once it done, it goes through another phase. For example, he gets the access of the machine, getting the access, then maintaining the access as, for example, in future, if he has to access the machine again, so you have to have certain kind of backdoor or stuff
Mm,
to access that machine. Then comes the clearing tracks. For example, once the machine is hacked, the hacker needs to be in the stealth mode, that the person in the front who is scanning that should
mm,
not be able to think about capturing me or analyzing that hacker is sitting inside the machine. So these are certain methodology, or there are, yeah, certain methodology that hacker follows.
okay. What, Madhav, do you have any advice for someone who's new to, who's interested into cybersecurity? Like we've talked about how you can have like the concepts you have to learn and all of that. But apart from that, is there maybe some sort of mistake that you made from which you learned a lot that you'd like to tell someone who's just diving into cybersecurity like right now?
Okay, so one of the major thing is that if you are getting started, just do it. There is no true pathway or there is no true methodology to learn hacking. You have to actually explore everything and find out what is your niche. For example, when I started, I was learning basic, and gradually I grown up, and then I came across offensive security and the defensive security. So I had explored both the fields, and I found offensive security as very keen to me. It was very, like, very personal to me. It was very good. So that is the way you have to explore various kind of stuff and say hi to everything, that and accept everything. You have to learn everything. That's it. The journey is going to be little tough, but it is very also peak on the top. You will think that you are a king.
Mm. And plus, cybersecurity is like it's a evolving domain, right? So there's no sort of set pathway. Like maybe what Madhav must have done 3 to 4 years ago, maybe there might be something new that comes out in the next couple of years. Because security is always changing, right? So after some period of time, that's definitely going to be new techniques or skills that you have to develop in order to uh, do some sort of ethical hacking. So, Madhav, I wanted to talk about your competition. Like, is there some really memorable contest that you had or really challenging CTF?
Okay, so considering from the contest perspective, there was a competition in DJ Isaka about capture Jeep Saga. So we had initially thought that it would be very easy to crack, and the moment we had sat during that competition CTF, it turned out to be very hard. Actually, it was very hard competition, and we just took it for granted. So yeah, but we cracked it and we won the first prize. It was not that we were able to crack it. And second was that I was traveling to Odisha, and I had stayed in one of the hotels. So the hotel had a default password in their default gateway in their router. So I was actually able to get the whole access of their router. So that was a very funny kind of moment for me.
I would want to transition to our viewer pulse section where we have questions from the viewers. So, the first question is from Avantika. So, she basically asks, is there any sort of cybersecurity jobs in government based companies, or are there such roles where you can help the government maybe through ethical hacking or something of that type? Like, do you have any knowledge about anything like that?
Okay, so I'm not very well versed about the government job, but yeah, there are certain kind of the government job to take into consideration. For example, if you guys can search in LinkedIn for Maharashtra Cyber Cell, so they generally post about the cyber stuff and the things that are happening. And as you can see, the stuff like digital arrest and various kind of stuff are actually evolving, and the scams in the digital space are evolving. So considering that the government is also empowering cybersecurity youth to get into there, and also as said that the raw and other defense agency are also looking for the cybersecurity expert, because now the next golden data mine, gold is
Hmm.
data, and that is only getting through hacking stuff.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
there are a lot of opportunity in cyber. Yeah.
Okay. And the second question is from Kushagra. He asked, like, what are your thinkings about the future trends in cybersecurity? And is it okay to pursue like cybersecurity along with some other fields like AI, ML, and things like that? That is what his question is. Like, can you do it in parallel,
Okay.
like cybersecurity and the other domains?
Got it. So cybersecurity is actually evolving, and it will evolve in the future and keep growing, because as said that, as we can see, the AI field is booming. Accordingly, there is also certain kind of stuff, cybersecurity stuff in AI. For example, there is a LLM prompt injection. Then there are certain kind of goofy stuff within the AI. So the cybersecurity is going to stay forever in the future as there is a digital landscape.
Hmm.
And considering pursuing the parallel field, I am currently pursuing the parallel. I'm learning generative AI and ML stuff in parallel. So it is okay to pursue that. Cybersecurity is my passion, and AI ML I do for hackathons, and I love using AI.
Okay. So according to Madhav, like you can do both of them in parallel. It's not like you're just doing cybersecurity, and you can also use or dive into the other domains such as AI and all of that. So Madhav, it was really good talking to you. It was my first time actually talking about cybersecurity, and I got a pretty decent idea about what cybersecurity is and how one can jump into that field. And as we come to the end of the podcast, is there any message that you have for the general audience? It can be regarding cybersecurity or any sort of message you want to say out to the world.
Okay, I would like to say two to three things. So you have to become master of one and jack of all trades. That is the only solution to survive in future. And secondly is there are lots of up and downs going to come in the cybersecurity journey, as it is not easy. It is kind of hard, but you have to put that efforts and stuff to get into cybersecurity. And you can, as I can, you can also. All the best for the future.
Okay. So thank you so much, Madhav, for sparing some time. It was really good to understanding cybersecurity a bit. And hopefully we can do a
Thank
couple
you for
more
having me.
podcasts in the future.
Sure, sure.